Hey guys, welcome to this week's Tech Tuesday. Today's topic is on importing into CRM when dealing with master and child records and how to set that relationship between them. So in this example I've already got set up, I've got a data source that has data for both accounts and contacts inside of it. So I've got our account number and account name along with some address info, and then later on I've got the contact email, first name, last name, and phone on there. And the idea is that for each row of data in here, that's a new account and a new contact, and those two records should be linked to each other. The account should be the parent customer of the contact, and that contact should be the primary contact of the account. Now what you may have ran into before when doing integrations into CRM is how to handle setting up both those relationships in one process without having to do a second pass through on that data. And I can show you guys what I'm talking about with the destination here. So when I expand my destination and take a look at what I've mapped, the idea is this. When you map into CRM, something always has to be created first. In this case, our account is being created first, as that's at the top of our list. What that means is when we create the account, we can't actually set the primary contact on it because the contact doesn't exist yet. On the contact, we can set the parent account because we know it's coming after the account. So if I open up the contact mapping and I take a look at the customer or the parent account field on here, I'm able to go ahead and map the entity lookup for that account. And what the entity lookup is doing is making sure it's grabbing the unique ID or the GUID for that account that we just created. When we did the account mapping, we can't do the primary contact because it doesn't exist yet. It only exists after both those records have went through. So what we've done is I've checked this box to say include advanced messages. And what that does is it enables additional columns or additional mappings to become available based on what entities we have selected in our destination. So you can see I've got a set for the account and I've got some for the contact. The one that I'm making use of is the account associate record command. And what this does is allows us to set different relationships or associations like that primary contact relationship on there. So if I open this up, you guys can see what it takes to map to this. All it needs is 3 fields on here. We need the related entities, relationship, and the target on there. So the first and the last fields on this, what they want are the unique IDs or the GUIDs for the 2 records that you're linking together. The first one is always going to be the record that you happen to be on. So in this case, we're on the account and we're trying to set the primary contact relationship to the contact. So what that means is we need to use the entity lookup, or if we've already got the ID in there, you can use the entity reference and set that for the account you're on. On the last one, we need to do an entity lookup for the contact that we just created. Make sure you're pulling back that ID of your new record on there. And on the middle one is where we actually set the relationship between the two. So this is the new feature that we haven't discussed a whole lot up till now. When I open up my additional columns, relationship is a specific additional column type just for CRM. And I've already got mine set up for the primary contact relationship. So when I double click that, the only options we need to set in there is, again, what entity that relationship is on and then what relationship you actually want. And that's going to pull right from your CRM setup. So by doing this, I'm able to make sure I can go ahead and set that primary contact on the account using my entity lookups to make sure I'm pulling back both the specific account I'm dealing with and the specific contact I'm dealing with. I'm able to go ahead and map this after the contact and account entities have been mapped to and have been created while that process is running. So to simplify this a bit, when I go hit OK on here and go back to the main mapping screen, if I click this available button, you can see the order it's going to run in without all those unmapped objects cluttering it up. First it's going to create the account, then it's going to create the contact where I set the parent account directly in there because I knew the account would exist. And then finally, I do the account associate record command because now both the objects exist and I can go back and set that original relationship. So that was today's Tech Tuesday. Hope that helped you out with some CRM integrations that you may be currently doing or planning on. Go ahead and leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys on a future one.